How's it going, YouTube and all the ISL fans out there? This is Tyfighter23 here, and I am bringing you the Week 6 matchup of the weekly recaps. Now, I'm not here alone this week. I am here with my co-host,
What's going on, everyone? My name is Burke, coach of the New England Patriots.
and funny thing is, I just recorded this without him here. I did not realize he was online. So, I'm re-recording this with him now, so that we actually have the duo here and not have me randomly talk about myself. That's just awkward. But let's go ahead and talk about the first match. Well, do you have any updates for trade to free agencies?
Uh, Not that I know of this week, although there might be some coming up soon.
All right then. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the first week matchup.
All right, so the first match of this week was the Atlanta Sharks, coached by Bob, versus the Cincinnati Renegades, coached by Damon. And this was a 4-0 victory for the Atlanta Sharks. They brought Cresselia, Ferrothorn, Gudra, Arcanine, Megalopunny, Azumarill, Superior, Hawlucha, Donphan, Rotomwash, Gardevoir. Wow, now I'm just listing off all the Pokemon.
Yeah, I noticed
The
that. I was
Cincinnati
like,
Regigigas brought Superior, Hawlucha, Donphan, Rotomwash, Gardevoir, and Garchomp. Sorry, I was just listing off Pokemon.
yeah, I noticed that. I
Uh,
was like, what's going on?
Azumarill picking up 4 kills this week, really cleaning up towards the end. Um, Rotomwash, the only thing that got the kill, and then the Ferrothorn died to Rough Skin from the Garchomp. So, really strong showing from Bob again. Damon, I felt like he didn't plan as well. For some reason, he brought Superior when Bob has like 4 checks to it, 4 easy checks to it, especially if, AV Gudra just blocks Superior. So I felt like it was kind of bad planning on Damon's part, good planning on Bob's part, and it really showed.
I mean, Superior could have worked against him if you brought like Hidden Power Fire for the Ferrothorn, if you brought Dragon Pulse for the Gudra. And then for the Azumarill, he didn't really have much to really check the Azumarill. He had the Rotom Wash for Thunderbolt action, but other than that, he didn't really have much of a check to Azumarill.
Well, with the Superior, he did have all of that HP. I'm pretty sure it had HP Fire, Dragon Pulse, Leaf Storm, and some other fourth move that I don't know. Probably Glare. But even at +2, the Dragon Pulse did less than half to uh, the Gudra.
Yeah.
And because it has Sap Sipper, the Gudra can just switch in on the Leaf Storm, not take any damage, and then the Superior is pretty much forced out. But Damon didn't. I don't know. He didn't really have much of an answer for just the bulk Bob was bringing this week.
Yeah, and I think those are just like you said. It's not like he really planned horribly. He just the one mon that he probably could have switched out was probably a Superior for a different mon to handle the Gudra and the Azumarill better.
Mm-hmm.
Since I understand why he brought the Superior was to check Azumarill, since
Mm-hmm.
he can just hit a Leaf Storm on it. But I don't think he was expecting Zap Sip or Gudra for some reason.
I
Um,
don't know.
so, I mean, it was a good battle from Bob. Like you said, a 4-0 victory near the end there. The 4-0 sweep with the Azumarill just coming in and just eliminating everything else. Since I think he was choice banded, wasn't he?
I think it was probably Choice Banded.
Because a
I
choice
didn't get.
banded Aqua Jet or a choice banded Waterfall or anything like that can do a lot of work to a team. So, give him credit for that. That was really good. But with that, with the next matchup that we have was Oz and the San Francisco 49 Tails going against Hyair and the Florida Fire Alligators. This was a 2-0 victory for the Florida Fire Alligators, who brought Lander's Eye, Alamamola, Jirachi, Mienshao, Mega Altaria, and Infernape, while the San Francisco 49 Tails brought Weavile, Mega Blastoise, Flygon, Dragonite, even though it for some reason said Dragonite Day. I don't know why there's an extra I in there. Just ignore that. Emboar and Zapdos. Now, this is a good victory for the Florida Fire Alligators, picking up 2-0, coming up with a 3-3 even differential, win-loss ratio. I just don't see how Bob really had anything to check the Alamamola. He had the Zapdos, which I believe Alamamola took out to Miracote. So, once the Zapdos went down, he really had nothing for the Alamamola, really. The rest of his mons really couldn't do much to it, just due to the regenerator ability and being as bulky as it is with a high HP stat. Alamo can just sit there and just stall things for days, and then picking up 2 kills this week, which I've never imagined Alamola being offensive and whatsoever, picking up 2 kills in a game. But then you had Infernape, Manchow, and Lander's Eye all picking up kills as well. I think this was just a really good matchup for Hyair, due to the fact that since Boo really had nothing for Alamamola, Hire could just pretty much just take over. Once he took out that Zapdos, pretty much just wreck house with everything else on his team.
Yeah, I don't think Boo was really prepared for that Alamola, especially not Mirror Coat Alamola. That thing, because of its really high HP stat, if it takes more than 50% damage, something's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Something is going to die, and that Zapdos took a big hit. And then, yeah, once the Zapdos went down, he had Wild Charge on the Emboar, which could do big damage to that Alamola. But that was his only thing. I think Weavile killed the Alamola eventually.
I think he killed it with like a knockoff or something at the very end there.
Yeah. But besides that, it was very easy for Hire just to switch in the Alamola and just wall whatever Boo had in.
Yeah, pretty much. And it didn't really help that Boo brought 3 things that are super effective. I mean, super weak to ice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, granted, he had 3 things that resist ice, but 3 mons that are super weak to ice. Hidden Power Ice is a common thing, especially on stuff like Lander's Eye. Jirachi can run it. Altaria can run it. Infernape can run it. Like, there's so many mons that can run HP Ice that can just wreck through his whole entire team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't like it was a bad showing for Boo. I think he brought decent mons and planned really well. I think he just had nothing for the Alamola, which was his biggest problem.
Yeah, not predicting that Mirror Coat definitely hurt him.
I mean, I didn't even know that Alamola got Mirror Coat. That was a shock to me. I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I know to watch out for that.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about the next matchup.
All right, so the next match was the Atlanta Braviary, coached by Ty, versus the Calgary Flamethrowers, coached by Hayden. The Atlanta Braviary picking up a 2-0 victory. You brought Gengar, Crocodile, Honchkrow, Terrakion, Suicune, and the Dusclops, whereas the Calgary Flamethrowers brought Latias, Venusaur, Zygarde, Chansey, Mega Charizard Y, and Hitmonchan. This was a good battle. It didn't look as well planned from Hayden, just because I'm pretty sure that Mega Venusaur, the Venusaur was in the sun and was still outsped by Gengar, even though Chlorophyll can easily, in Chlorophyll and in the sun, it can easily outspeed anything.
The reason why, I just want to say, the reason why it didn't outspeed is because I brought a Choice Scarf Gengar.
Well, if you EV the Venusaur correctly, it will outspeed any Scarfer that you had on your team, actually. Double the speed, whereas Gengar, like, even base 80, it'll outspeed. Or at least it should. So that's why I say it wasn't as good of planning. Granted, you had a lot of checks for some of the stuff. Suicune with the Mirror Coat taking out the Mega Charizard Y. Hitmonchan not really doing much, and Latias also not really doing much. Zygarde picking up 2 kills against the Gengar and something else. I think it might have been the Terrakion? No,
the Chansey took out the Terrakion.
Chansey took out Terrakion. Sorry, it might have been the Dusclops eventually.
No, I want to double check something real quick.
Sweet.
Running caps real quick.
And it killed the... Yeah, Zygarde killed Gengar and the Dusclops.
Yeah. The only way for the Mega Venus... Oh, that's Mega Venusaur. Hold on. That was my bad. I'm trying to see what Venusaur's speed would be if he's max speed, like, timid or something. Which doesn't really change. I guess his speed doesn't change when he Mega Evolves. So pretty much, yeah, if he was max speed timid, then yeah, he would have outsped me. But he would only outsped the Gengar by like 40 points.
Which is, 40 points is still 40 points.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, like, he should have EV to outspeed pretty much anything on your team. But he didn't, and the Gengar was able to take out the Venusaur in the sun. So...
Yeah, I think he was. I don't think he was expecting a Choice Scarf Gengar. I think he was probably thought he can run enough speed to outspeed a regular Gengar, and then put everything else in like HP or something, or try to live hits better or something. I don't know. The one thing that I was fearing about his team though was, Crawdaunt. When I was testing against his team to see how well I would do, Crawdaunt can do a lot of work against this team.
Yeah, it can take out the Gengar, the Crocodile, the Terrakion,
the Dusclops.
So
they can do a lot of work to Honchkrow, and Honchkrow's not really that physically bulky. The only thing I really had to wall a Crocodile was Suicune with Hit Power Grass. That was the only thing I could really do to it. So
Interesting.
when I didn't see that, I was like, oh, thank God, no Crawdon. And then the only thing that like both me and him were confused about at first was because Chansey was able to take out the Terrakion
Uh-huh.
due to Seismic Toss, which both of us forgot how Seismic Toss worked. We thought Seismic Toss always did 50 damage because we always see it in Wi-Fi does 50. But that's
Uh,
because they're
does
level
your
50.
yeah,
And
does your levels worth of damage?
yeah, we were both confused. We were both like, wait, what? That killed? Because I knew that Terrakion had more than 50 HP. He was at like 59 HP when I sent him in, and then he T-waved, and I would have outsped it if he didn't T-wave, and I could have taken it out with that. But it's whatever. It happens. We learn
Yep.
something new every day.
Yep.
So it was a good battle, I think. But let's go ahead and talk about the next battle. You had the Dallas Victory Stars and Xavier going against Oz and the Carolina Panthers. This is a huge 6-0 victory for the Dallas Victory Stars, who brought Sylveon, Golbat, Gastrodon, Victini, Kyurem, and Tyranitar, while Oz brought Mew, Toxicroak, Spiritomb, Mega Aerodactyl, Galvantula, and Crobat. This was a huge matchup for Xavier as he was able to pick up 6-0 victory. 3 kills with Victini, 2 kills with Kyurem, and then 1 kill with Gastrodon. I don't know why, but I feel like Oz just did not play well for this. I understand why he brought the Galvantula for sticky webs, but he didn't really bring many things to really outspeed that would outspeed things after one drop of speed, especially for like Victini, who can just wreck through his whole entire team. Because a Bull Strike will take out Mega Aerodactyl, then V-Crate will take out a Spiritomb, V-Crate will take out a Zen Headbutt will take out a Toxicroak. Like Victini just put in so much work against Oz's team. I just don't think he planned well for it. I think that the Victini and the Kyurem putting in the majority of these kills. I don't think Golbat even hit the field once. I don't know about Sophie. I don't remember if Sylveon did or not. Tyranitar was close to death. He almost was able to stop this from being a 6-0, but Xavier was smart enough to switch Tyranitar out to save differential for that point. I just think this was a really, really good showing for the undefeated team and the Dallas Victory Stars. And fortunately, just don't think Oz really planned well for it.
Oz didn't have too much for the Gastrodon this week.
That's true.
The Galvantula could probably have Energy Ball. The Mew could have Energy Ball, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Mega Aerodactyl's not taking down the Gastrodon. Spiritomb's not taking it down. Toxicroak's not taking it down. Crobat's not. So the Gastrodon just was able to. He was just able to switch in the Gastrodon anytime something else came out with the Mega Aerodactyl, like the Toxicroak.
Especially, I think that Gastrodon was physically defensive, so Toxicroak, Spiritomb, Mega Aerodactyl, Crobat all just get walled by it anyways.
Yeah.
So I just don't think he just really planned really well to go against this team due to the threats that Oz had. I mean, not Oz, Xavier had, and that just pulls the Dallas Victory Stars to, I believe, what's a plus 20 differential now?
Sounds right.
Yeah, 20 differential now, which is the highest in the league right now. He pulled ahead away from everyone else, so Xavier's doing really well this season.
That he is.
Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the next matchup. Is Burke and the New England Patriots going against Cameron and the Manatee City Football Club. Now, Manatee City was able to pick up 2-0 victory over Burke. Burke brought the Kecleon, the Cofagrigus, the Vaporeon, the Entei, the Tyrantrum, and Togekiss, while Cameron brought the Greninja, the Gliscor, the Florges, the Talonflame, the Lucario, and the Salamence. Now, this was a battle of Protean. Both Kecleon and Greninja both had Protean. You both brought them this week. Unfortunately, none of them was able to do much in this battle. Pretty much what happened was that Cameron was able to pretty much just sweep with Lucario practically. He just did so much work against your team. And the Florges picking up 2 kills, which I was shocked by. I know Florges is bulky enough, but I was expecting him to get 2 kills this battle. And you brought the Tyrantrum and Togekiss, who Togekiss, again, another mon that I don't see as ever really getting that many kills very often, but was able to pick up 2 kills this week. So I think you both played well. I think you both playing well. I think it's just I don't really know what happened here. Maybe you can explain it because I thought this was a really good battle in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite battle of the season. It was an 84 turn, not even like normally when you see that kind of length, it's like a stall war. This isn't even a stall war. We're like switching in and out, trying to get the better plays. And for a while, I was ahead. Like, I'd kill something, and then he'd kill something, I'd kill something, until we got down to about 3-3, and that's when he started taking out the rest. And it came down to rocks. It absolutely came down to rocks. Because he had rocks on my side of the field, and I did not have rocks on his side of the field, he was able to switch in more often than I was able to switch in. The one thing that was my pretty much saving grace that entire battle was Baton Pass Vaporeon with Wish. That saved my ass so many times. But eventually it got whittled down, and because of the rocks, it became harder to switch it in. And then I think the Florges was able to take it out. It was either the Lucario was able to take it out, I think. Yeah. So I wasn't able to switch it in that last time because I was only at like 20% after switching, like 25% HP, and I can't take a hit at that point. So unfortunately, if I had the rocks up, I think I could have won that, but I didn't, and I didn't have any way to get rid of rocks, because if I did have a way to get rocks up, his Salamence had defog, so I could either have we could either have rocks on both sides of the field, both sides, which was fine with me, or we have it on neither side, which is also fine with me.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I mean, it sucks when it has to come down to houses like that. But like I said, it was a long freaking match, and both of you all played really well. I think it was just the rocks, like you said, was pretty much, it seems to be what really put it into his favor. But I mean, both of you played really well. It was only like a 2-0 victory. It's not like you got 6-0'd.
Oh no, that was again, that was an amazing battle. That was so much fun, and I was looking forward to playing Cameron this entire season, and it did not disappoint.
I just wish I could have seen a better showing from Kecleon and Greninja for the Protean abilities. Oh, that would be nice.
Well, Kecleon did what it was supposed to do and set up Trick Room once, but then it died.
Yeah, which was very interesting. You brought a lot of Slowmons this week for Trick Room, with Tyrantrum, Togekiss, Cofagrigus, Vaporeon. I don't know what your spread on Entei was, but I guess it could work in Trick Room.
Yeah, it was a Assault Vest.
It's a very interesting Entei set. But so I mean, having Trick Room there would definitely have been interesting. And I mean, honestly, if you were able to get Trick Room up more often, that might have been able to help you out. So.
Only it lasted for more than 5 turns.
All right, Game Freak, make an item that makes Trick Rooms last longer. That'd be nice. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the last matchup.
All right, so the last match was the Seattle Superiors, coached by Braden, against Bayleaf Munich, coached by Tom. Tom finally picking up his first win with a really strong 4-0 victory against the Seattle Superiors. Seattle Superiors bring Landorus T, Jolteon, Uxie, Escavalier, Kyurem, and Nidoqueen. And the Bayleaf Munich bringing Scizor, Melodic, Keldeo, Diggersby, Mega Gardevoir, and Diancie. This battle was very close up until one point, and that point was Braden predicting the switch out from the Diggersby, and he went for Bolt Strike against the Diggersby. And the Diggersby was then able to go for a turn, basically killing it because there was rocks up on Braden's side of the field. Kyurem only left with 16%. So, and then he switched it out. So Diggersby able to get huge damage off on, basically kill the Kyurem and almost kill Landorus Therian. So that was definitely the tipping point, because once that happened, Braden, it was basically a 4-2 at that point, and Tom able to clean up.
I mean, it was definitely a good matchup between them. It was one of the longer battles too. It's like they were doing a lot of switching back and forth. And it sort of came down to rocks. The rocks weren't up. Kyurem might have been able to do some work late game, but Diggersby coming through there. That Diggersby though, Scizor, Melodic, and Mega Gardevoir all picking up major kills this week. Only the Keldeo and Diancie going down. So, even the Keldeo picked up a week. I didn't even. But I screwed up somewhere on that.
Yeah, the Keldeo killed
the. Yeah, no, I did right. Yeah, that's right. I thought I screwed up when I put everything in. But so it was just a really good match between the two of them. I think they both played really well. I think the Kyurem went down to rocks, so that was the only kill that technically Tom wasn't able to get.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, both played really well. Braden's still only at 3-3. He still is fighting for that top of the gold division with Cameron now at 3-3. So either one of them could really take that division, and then there's also the wild card there they can still fight for. So I think the Johto Conference, the playoffs aren't really as, I guess, fortified, really knowing what it's going to be like yet. I think it's still being fought over. So I don't think this loss for Braden really should affect him this week, and I think he'll be perfectly fine next week. So let's go ahead and talk about the MVP race. A lot of changes happened this week. Azumarill, now the number one Pokemon in the MVP race, picking up 4 kills this week, so jumping up to 11 kills, 2 deaths, and a +9 differential overall on the Atlanta Sharks team. That's huge for that, since it knocked down the number one Pokemon who's been there for weeks and weeks and weeks, and Mega Charizard Y only getting a death this week, not getting a kill, and dropping down the number 2 spot. Mega Charizard Y, coached by the Calgary Flamethrowers, with 10 kills, 3 deaths, and a +7 differential. And then you have Weavile at number 3 with the San Francisco 49 with 9 kills, 5 deaths, +4 differential. And the Dallas Victory Stars have two of their Mons, two of the best Mons in the top 5. And Kiram at 8 kills, 2 deaths, and +6, while Victini is 7 kills, 0 deaths. The only Mon in the top 10 with 0 deaths on the side, and a +7 differential.
Yep, I remember when that used to be Mega Venusaur, but no longer. Mega Venusaur has dropped down to number 6. 7 kills, 1 death, +6, coached by myself. Then we have Scizor, 7 kills, 4 deaths, +3 differential, coached by Tom. Then we have regular Gardevoir, 7 kills, 5 deaths, +2 differential, coached by Damon. Then we have Gliscor, 6 kills, 2 deaths, +4 differential, coached by Cameron. And at number 10, we have a Landorus Eye, 6 kills, also 2 deaths, +4 differential, coached by Jair. And while this is not technically in the top 10 due to alphabetical order, we do have Zygarde at number 11, 6 kills, 2 deaths, +4, coached by Hayden.
Now, the only reason why I want to say that Venusaur dropped down number 6 is you unfortunately didn't bring him this week, so he wasn't able to get any kills.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't bring it this week.
But I mean, that also helps that it doesn't have any deaths either, so he can still come back and get back into the top 5 next week. So you never know.
I hope so.
But it's still impressive. Maybe we'll see Weavile taking the number 1 spot like it did in the GBA, or maybe Victini will come back up and take that number 1 spot. We'll never know. It's the MVP race is changing every single week now. It's never the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about next week's matchups. Now, the first matchup that we have is the Atlanta Sharks, Bob, going against Boo and the San Francisco 49 This is a rematch from Week 1, as these two division rivals are going at it once again. Normally, we always say that it's very hard for a team to beat the same team twice in the season, but I think Bob's going to be able to do it this week. He knows how to work around Boo's team. Boo's learning his team better, so he's knowing how to use Zapdos and Dragonite and stuff like that better, and Weavile. So maybe Boo can come out with victory, but I'm going to give it with Bob this one. That Azumarill is a major problem, and it can wall a lot of things on Boo's team and just dish out so much damage. So I'm going to have to give it with Bob this one. What do you think?
I'm going to have to agree. Bob's just been playing very well. Boo, unfortunately, not doing as well. So, yeah, I'm going to also have to give it to Bob this week.
All right, then. Next matchup is us. We're battling each other.
I'm going to win.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
So
I can't really make a prediction on this one.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to do that. It's a little biased on that one. But go ahead and talk about the next matchup.
All right, we got the Carolina Panseers, coached by Oz, against Manaphy City, coached by Cameron. This is, for me, pretty clear. I think Cameron's going to win this one. He's been doing really well. Oz, he hasn't been doing well this season, so I think Cameron's just going to take it.
I agree. I think the big win that Cameron got this week, unfortunately against you, is definitely going to push him higher and build up his confidence so he can do better next week. I just don't think Oz really has stuff to really go against the Florges and the Greninja and other threats that he has on his team. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to have to give the victory to Cameron this week. All right. So the next matchup that we have is a team that's still undefeated, the only undefeated team right now in the Dallas Victory Stars, going against a team who finally is no longer non-victorious. I don't know how, like, the undefeated.
Winless.
Yeah, winless. Winless. I don't know what the word is. And Tom and the Bailey Comedics. I would love to give Tom the victory for this one. I would love to predict him to win this one after getting his first victory, but I think I'm going to have to give it to Xavier for this one. It is very hard to break through the powerhouse of Kiram and Victini, and I don't think Tom really has the team matchup to really do that. So I'm going to have to give the victory to Xavier this week.
You know what? I want to give it to Tom. Tom did so well last week, and I want to see him keep winning now. I want him. I want to see sort of like a Steve kind of thing going on, where he loses first 5 and then starts winning back after that. So, damn it, I'm gonna give it to Tom. Don't disappoint me.
All right. All right.
No,
So,
but it's gonna be a very good match nonetheless.
oh
Tom
yeah.
plays very well. He's just been going against really good teams every single week. So,
Yeah, he just had the worst week matchups. Like he playing really well. It's just unfortunately just RCS above just did not want to give him any victories until week 6. So
right. And the next battle is the Calgary Flamethrowers, coached by Hayden, against the Cincinnati Rage Gigas, coached by Damon. And this is also a rematch from week 1.
This is
This is a rematch from week 1, when Hayden lost first week against Damon in a very close 1-0 battle. It is very hard to win against someone twice in a row, and I think Hayden didn't plan as well the first time they played, so I think he's playing really hard this week so he doesn't lose again, and I am gonna give it to Hayden.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. This is the battle for the silver division in the Johto Conference because if Hayden can win this week, if he can get the victory over this in this week, he will take over that #1 spot in his conference, which he's been fighting for since week 1. Because with Damon finally getting his first loss, he's only 1 game ahead of Hayden, and Hayden has a much higher differential than Damon has. So they'll be technically tied in the win and losses, but differential-wise, Hayden will take over the victory for that. And I think Hayden's going to do it. I think he's really learning how to use his team. That's one reason why I think he lost the first week. Didn't really know how to use his team very well yet. But with the Mega Charizard Y, the Venusaur, the Chansey, the Zygarde, which we know how well Zygarde can do, I think he just has a lot of good threats to go against Damon's team, and I think he'll come out with a victory for this one. So I guess we're going to agree, and we're going to give it to Hayden for this week. And so that gives us our last matchup of the week is Iary and the Florida Alligators versus Braden and the Seattle Superiors. And again, this is a battle for the division. This is a battle to go in the gold division. Who is going to take that #1 spot? Is this a rematch? I don't know if this is or not.
No. Well, the Florida Alligators are in the silver division, and
right,
Superiors are in the gold division. But if the Seattle Superiors do get a win, and the Manaphy City loses, then they do move back up to first place.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking that all wrong. But either way, if either team wins, they're still fighting for that. They're both fighting for that playoff position, whether it's top of the division or a wild card position. So I think both teams are going to play really well. It's going to be a really tough battle between the two. I'm going to give it to Iary for this week, though. I think his team just matches up better against Braden's, and I think Iary's going to be able to pick up the victory for this one.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I think Braden, with his really big threats of Landorus T and Kyurem B, and the fact that Iary has mitigated the ground and ice weakness with Alomola, he still has that weakness, and if Braden takes advantage of that, he can definitely win. And so I'm gonna give it to Braden this week.
All right. Well, with that, I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you liked the video, please hit that like button down below, and we will see you all in the next video.
Later.